But it really is about more than that. It's an opportunity to look at those 5,000 people, and though we can't get everybody in the Department of State dinner, we can look for the exceptional calls that come up and recognize those calls. We get 420,000 calls per service a year. 365 days a year. I'm humbled so in the community that math is crazy to me. So you can see how many times our firefighters and our personnel and professional staff are in the call for service of the community. So with that in mind, we are going to celebrate everybody in the department for their hard work, but we're going to choose to recognize a few exceptional calls that made this last year something to remember. And with that, I'd like to call up Barry Nugent. Yep. He's the retired assistant chief. And he's going to do this evening's invocation. Yeah, Barry.
Well, good evening. Chad left his stuff up here, and so it's like I gotta move things around a little bit. I can do it though. Thank you.
I trust you.
So tonight we're going to recognize and honor many individuals for their service, as Chad was talking about. And so you're going to see some people through receive Exemplary Service Award, Letter of Commendation, Unit Citation, Certificate of Valor, and the Medal of Valor Awards. And the specifics for those honorees will come about later on this evening, and you'll hear about those. But noteworthy is that these honorees exemplify and embody some distinguishing values of our organization. That of integrity, teamwork, caring, courage, commitment, and community. And all of these individuals sort of embody that. Some may have been taken for granted in the past, yet they have served with exemplary attitudes and actions. Some sort of more noticeable elements of our department in terms of can perform with distinction. And without them, those performances are going to be a little bit stunted. Some are commended through letters of recognition for their actions. Others are recognized because of the teamwork of their unit, and that teamwork of the unit is citable. It's worth remembering and mentioning and honoring those members of the team that are honored at a ceremony like tonight. Those honored recipients are going to be some that are going to receive certificates of valor for their exploits. There will be a select few that will be awarded medals of valor for their great courage that they've shown in the face of danger. And great, as the dictionary defines it, is ability, quality, or eminence considerably above the normal. There's a story in an ancient piece of historical literature about a king to be that was on the run because another king wanted to kill him. And he was in a cave in the Middle East called Adullam. And he sat there and he prayed to God, and God brought him 400 men. They were men that were discouraged, disappointed, and had death. And 15 years later, that king-to-be became the king of Israel, and he's known as King David. And King David had those same men that were brought around him, and those same men were known as David's mighty men of valor because of the distinguishing acts of courage. And to borrow from Shakespeare's Henry V, those few, those happy few, those band of brothers courageously lived, fought, served, and died for a common cause. We're honoring some of those of a similar band tonight. But I'd like to acknowledge all the men and women of this great department who answer that call for service every single day, and as Chad mentioned, many times over. They too have been maybe discouraged and disappointed and have debt, yet they answer the call to serve others, and they continue to do so. They call in the face of dangerous situations. They're called in the face of dangerous situations and perilous challenges. And they do it while they lead courageously. They have chosen to reject pervasive passivity that can plague us, and instead they initiate through their action. They have accepted the responsibility that comes with wearing this badge as a professional firefighter. The responsibility of embracing a cause greater than themselves, of serving those that they don't even know, and yet they go out there and they serve and risk their lives many times. These few, these happy few, these band of brothers and sisters, we thank you. These honor recipients are a reflection of, as Chad mentioned, this nearly 5,000 strong department. Their readiness to serve, their courage in the face of danger, their willingness to risk, their humble, caring commitment in the service of our communities does not go unnoticed. And greatness, according to that historical piece of literature that I mentioned earlier, the Bible, finds fulfillment in learning to be the servant of all. You are servants of mention, and we honor you tonight. We recognize you for your attentiveness to service, your commitment, your sacrifice, your courage. Your reward is going to be more than just a piece of paper with words emblazoned on the surface of it, and you will get that piece of paper. But your reward is in the knowing that you make a difference, in the certainty that you have made life better for others. You exemplified the finer points of human nature, and you have counted. Stand a little bit taller because you've rejected passivity, because you've accepted responsibility, because you have led with courage. Continue to do so. And now if you would join me in my invocation as I invoke or call upon the Heavenly Father to help us in a call as public servants. Lord, we're grateful to gather together to celebrate these individuals in this room. They came not to this call as professional firefighters to be served, but rather to serve. In that, they emulate you, showing the heart of a servant. Thank you for their past service. Watch over each of them as they protect lives, the environment, and property by providing fire protection and life safety services. Bless our department's leaders. Give them wisdom in their leadership. Bless our frontline men and women with steadfastness and courage. Bless their families for their love and commitment and support of these public servants. Give these honorees wisdom and strength where needed. Lift their burdens. Give them peace and confidence in the face of future trying circumstances. And protect all our community servant firefighters at the County of Los Angeles Fire Department, standing shoulder to shoulder in their common call. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Chief Nugent. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
had Diana Ross booked to come out of retirement to sing the national anthem. And when I heard that Coral was going to sing it, we canceled Diana. So here we are. Only the best tonight. Only the best. Okay, before I introduce our MC tonight, who, again, if you've been to any of our Medal of Valor, since I think this is his 12th year, Mark Brown, I want to tell you another little story about Mark. Right, he's amazing. He's part of the family here with LA County Fire Department. So every year we ask Mark to host, and Mark has the firefighter mentality. He will say when and where, no doubt about it. Usually if you book any kind of talent, they're kind of like, okay, you need to pay us this and that, you need to do licensing agreement and all that. Mark's just down. When you need it, where am I going to be? And in response, what we typically say is, what do you want, Mark? What can we do for you? And every year, he says, well, can I get a ride in the hop? 10 minutes for the sun. I say, yeah, no problem. And then I call him and say, hey, when do you want the ride? When do you want? He's like, next time, we'll get it. And I finally figured it out. I think he just does that to make us feel good. So we're like getting something out of it. But I don't know, Mark, I don't know. But he does it every time. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our MC for the evening. ABC 7 anchor, Mr. Mark Brown.
I have questions. I could have got paid. This is my reward just to be here. I was telling our chaplain a little bit ago, I do a lot of events every year. We're called upon to MC and handle a lot of events. This is my favorite event, bar none, of anything that I ever do every year. That's why I'm here every year. And I am going to do the helicopter ride this year because my son's really excited. He's 7 years old. He can't wait. So we're going to do that. Thank you very much for having me here. Again, for the year 12. And thank you on behalf of all the citizens of Los Angeles County for everything all of you do for us. And I include the families in that as well. Because you send them off every day and you give them to us to help our lives be better and to be safe, in fact. So it's a pleasure for me to be here as we honor the members of the fire department who exhibited exceptional bravery and remarkable heroism by placing themselves at great personal risk to save the lives of others. And this event is one of those opportunities where we get to shine a light and celebrate some of the unsung heroes behind the news stories that we report on ABC 7. And before we begin with the presentations, let's take a moment then to recognize the dignitaries and the distinguished guests who are here. Attending on behalf of 2nd District County of Los Angeles Supervisor Holly Mitchell, Senior Justice Deputy John Matthews, County of Los Angeles Undersheriff April Tardy, Fire Chief Anthony Maroney, Acting Chief Deputy John O'Brien, Acting Chief Deputy Teresa Barrera, Deputy Fire Chief Dennis Brashears, Deputy Fire Chief Nick Duvali, Deputy Fire Chief Thomas Ewald, Deputy Fire Chief Eleni Pappas, Deputy Fire Chief Vince Pena, Acting Deputy Fire Chief Robert Harris, Acting Deputy Fire Chief William Mayfield Jr., and Acting Deputy Fire Chief Mike Sapp. And now it is my honor to welcome County of Los Angeles Fire Chief Anthony Maroney.
Thank you, Mark. I almost feel like we should have paid you because what Chief Sauerger didn't tell you is that when we take you and your son out on a helicopter ride, we have to charge you. And they're quite expensive. No, I'm only kidding. Thank you very much, everybody. Good evening to our honorees, their family, friends, and colleagues. Welcome to our Fire Department's 2023 Valor Awards Ceremony here at the beautiful Fire Museum. This ceremony is our opportunity to recognize our employees and others, both behind the scenes and on the front lines. And of course, we could not do that without the incomparable Mark Brown of ABC 7, who has been a friend to our department for many years. Thank you, Mark. I too, I didn't know that you were going to introduce them, would like to recognize our dignitaries that are here with us this evening. John Matthews, Senior Justice Deputy for the amazing 2nd District, Holly J. Mitchell. Please stand, John. Because John is also a member of our fire family, as his father, John Matthews, was a very proud and now retired LA County Fire Department employee. And also April Tardy. April has the distinction of being the first woman undersheriff in the Sheriff's Department 173-year history. That is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, April. And I also want to recognize our generous key sponsor, the FNA Federal Credit Union. Tim, if you can please take a stand so we can give you a round of applause. Along with our very special donors, the County of Los Angeles Firefighters 1014, the County of Los Angeles Fire Museum, and the Association of Chief Officers. We are grateful for their generosity as well as the hard work of the Valor Awards Committee, who helped organize every detail of this evening's beautiful event. Tonight we honor the extraordinary efforts of department members and our community heroes for their exceptional heroism. Some individuals have demonstrated amazing acts of courage in the face of danger, while others have gone above and beyond their day-to-day duties. Every one of this year's recipients has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the department and the communities that we proudly serve. These individuals were selfless and brave in delivering the highest standard of care and protection of our residents. There is no prouder moment for me as fire chief than this event where we get to showcase individuals who exemplify and embody the department's core values. To our honorees, congratulations, and thank you for your dedication and commitment to service. Your actions are an inspiration to all. May we each discover our own way to make a positive impact on the lives of those around us and look for ways to make the world a better and safer place. Now it is my pleasure to turn the mic back over to our esteemed MC, Mark Brown.
Thank you, Chief. Fourth District Supervisor Janice Hahn and 5th District Supervisor Catherine Barger are unable to join us tonight, but they send their very best to all of the honorees.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you tonight for this year's Valor Awards Ceremony. I want to thank Good evening, everyone, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you tonight for this year's Valor Awards Ceremony. I want to thank Chief Maroney, FNA Credit, and the Fire Foundation for organizing this event. Every year, the Valor Awards provide an opportunity to recognize extraordinary members of our fire department and celebrate their heroism, selflessness, and dedication to public service. This department has gone through a lot, coping with the tragic loss of brave firefighters. And yet, in the wake of these tragedies, I've seen you, the men and women of this department, continue to display your unwavering commitment to protecting the rest of us. For that, I am not only grateful for each of you, I am in awe. And tonight, we are recognizing a few of the individuals who went above and beyond the call of duty and risked their own lives to save others. Firefighters who went into a burning building to attempt to save a fellow firefighter. Firefighters who responded to a sheriff's helicopter that crashed and saved people from the wreckage as the helicopter literally teetered on the edge of a cliff. And firefighters and sheriff deputies who climbed through the window of a burning building to rescue a man in his 80s who couldn't walk just before his bedroom was engulfed in flames. These extraordinary stories are just examples of the heroism our first responders display every day. It takes a special kind of person to put on the helmet and heavy coat, fight against your nature and your instinct for self-preservation, and run towards danger while the rest of us run away. Every member of the LA County Fire Department has my respect and my gratitude. Thank you all for your service and enjoy the evening.
It's my privilege to join our newly appointed Fire Chief, Anthony Maroney, and the Los Angeles County Fire Department to celebrate the 2023 Valor Awards. Each of the honorees has gone above and beyond the call of duty. It's my privilege to join our newly appointed Fire Chief, Anthony Maroney, and the Los Angeles County Fire Department to celebrate the 2023 Valor Awards. Each of the honorees has gone above and beyond the call of duty. Thank you for your deep commitment to the communities that you serve. The fire department team and public safety partners have displayed incredible strength and a willingness to put others before themselves. Each year we hear stories during the ceremony that are deeply personal, inspiring, and illustrate why we have the best of the best serving our Los Angeles communities every single day. Tonight's honorees have diverse backgrounds and experiences, showing that no matter who you are or where you are from, you can make a difference. None of tonight's honorees would say that they are heroes, but that is exactly why they are. I bet if you asked them why they jumped into action, their humility would lead them to say they were doing the right thing and were in the right place at the right time. But it takes a remarkable person to do that, and I commend your courage. To me, bravery isn't a lack of fear. It's a decision to take action in spite of fear. I want to take a moment to also congratulate your families, because a life of service does not go without sacrifice. You are able to do your job because of your foundation. I know they love you and are incredibly proud of you. It is because of their support that our personnel have the encouragement and inspiration to fulfill their calling, to have a safe place to land at the end of each day. Thank you to all the honorees for your service and sacrifice. You represent the very best of who we are and inspire us every day.
Presented in the following order: Letter of Commendation, Exemplary Service Award, Unit Citation, Certificate of Valor, Medal of Valor. We begin with the presentations for the Letter of Commendation. Letter of Commendation, Fire Dispatcher 1, Riley White. With barely 6 months of experience on the job, Fire Dispatcher 1 Riley White received a 911 call a little before 4:30 p.m. on July 15, 2022. The caller, who was experiencing symptoms of a stroke, was aboard an eastbound Metrolink train headed towards San Bernardino and was unable to get off the train and unable to get anyone to stop it. Fire Dispatcher White kept the patient on the line and was able to pinpoint the moving train on mapping software. He then contacted Metrolink to ensure the train would stop at the Baldwin Park station, where paramedics would be there ready to assist the patient. For demonstrating a calm and professional demeanor while going above and beyond to assist a patient undergoing a medical emergency, the department is pleased to present a letter of commendation to Fire Dispatcher 1 Riley White. Letter of commendation, Fire Dispatcher 2, Robert Markham. A little after 4:30 p.m. on March 19, 2022, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Air Rescue 5 crash landed while it was on its way to an incident. There were 6 crew members aboard the helicopter, but 3 medics remained trapped inside. The helicopter was hanging over the edge of a cliff. Fire Dispatcher 2, Robert Markham, received the call for help, stayed calm and professional over the radio as he coordinated emergency assistance for the helicopter crew. Shortly thereafter, fire department crews provided fire protection and began the process of triage, rescuing the trapped patients and moving everyone to a safe area. We will hear more about this story a little later. For displaying poise and skillful focus while assisting on a life-saving mission, the department is pleased to present a letter of commendation to Fire Dispatcher 2, Robert Markham. Exemplary Service Award for Integrity, Departmental Civil Service Representative Robert Ortega, Jr. As a Departmental Civil Service Representative, Robert Ortega, Jr. has demonstrated a commendable work ethic and commitment to the department by handling complex and high-profile assignments tactfully, thoroughly, and expeditiously. Robert has been commended and complimented for his investigative, technological, and advocacy skills. Exercising accountability, he offers sound recommendations to management and fervently advocates for equity and transparency to preserve the department's integrity. For his outstanding service and dedication to upholding the truest form of integrity, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for Integrity to Departmental Civil Service Representative Robert Ortega, Jr. Exemplary Service Award for Teamwork, Pacoima Warehouse. Known to work faster and more efficiently than Amazon Prime, the personnel at the Pacoima Warehouse hold important roles in the department's everyday functionality, ensuring everyone has their necessities and supplies in a timely and efficient manner. The Pacoima Warehouse runs a tight ship where it is consistently stocked, so team members throughout the department will have access to the items they need. In 2022, Pacoima Warehouse staff members processed more than 14,600 stock requests and received more than 2,500 non-warehouse stock orders. Team members worked together to make sure orders were ready for pickup and all necessary paperwork completed accurately. For the unwavering dedication and seamless collaboration to ensure the department runs smoothly and efficiently every day, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for Teamwork to Warehouse Manager David Carr, Warehouse Worker 3 Michael Manuel, Warehouse Worker 2's Joe Deadweiler, Rudy Garcia, Louis Gomez, Anisha Kumar, Michael Lassick, and Justin Paul, Heavy Truck Driver Carlos Lira, Senior Typist Clerk Dennis Madrigal, Warehouse Worker 1's John Guevara, Daniel Havey, and Noel Reyes, and Intermediate Typist Clerk Yvette Castellanos. Exemplary Service Award, Courage, Fire Captain Vince Roldan. Fire Captain Vince Roldan has provided an invaluable service to the department, its team members, and most importantly, to the families. In times of considerable change and crisis, especially during the past few years as the department mourned the loss of several team members, Captain Roldan has served as a department chaplain and lent his unlimited support and care to those dealing with loss, hurt, and grief. Whether day or night, on or off duty, Captain Roldan has selflessly given his time to help others in need, standing with grieving families during flag ceremonies, memorials, and funerals, and remaining by their side as they navigate dark and difficult days. For his faithful devotion in serving team members and families while helping them through challenging times, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for Courage to Fire Captain Vince Roldan. He is unable to be here tonight and humbly accepts this award on behalf of all the chaplains and peer support team members who answer the call to help their families in crisis. To accept this award on his behalf is someone Chaplain Roldan believes is one of the most courageous people he has ever known, Brody Flagler. Exemplary Service Award, Community, medium truck drivers Anthony Dixon and Elliot Hoffman. Don't open it yet. Always together, always willing to assist anyone and everyone, medium truck drivers Anthony Dixon and Elliot Hoffman are known to team up and do whatever is necessary to fulfill the department's mission every day. Besides their day-to-day duties and responsibilities, Anthony and Elliot also serve as Community Emergency Response Team, or CERT instructors, who teach classes all over the South Bay on their days off so people can be ready for all types of emergencies. Additionally, they've also taken on the logistics role at SoFi Stadium, providing support for more than 250 events throughout the year. For their tireless dedication to selflessly helping others with a smile, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for Community to medium truck drivers Anthony Dixon and Elliot Hoffman. The Exemplary Service Award for Commitment goes to Senior Fire Equipment Mechanic Robert Hilseth. Senior Fire Equipment Mechanic Robert Hilseth is known for doing whatever it takes to repair and maintain our emergency fleet so it is always available and ready to respond. He assists with overseeing the building of our new quints, engines, water tenders, utility vehicles, repair trucks, and Type 3 engines. Even during the busiest times when he is multitasking to repair something in hand while troubleshooting another issue over the phone, he keeps a positive, can-do attitude to get the job done. For tirelessly going above and beyond to ensure the department's needs are always met, and doing so with an upbeat attitude, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for Commitment to Senior Fire Equipment Mechanic Robert Hilseth. The Exemplary Service Award for Commitment, Administrative Services Division Manager Thomas Brown. In his first year as the manager over the Construction and Maintenance Division, Administrative Services Division Manager Thomas Brown has made sound fiscal decisions and applied innovative ways to save the department tens of millions of dollars over the next several years, so they can pay me. Among the cost-saving measures are a partnership with our contracted cities to pay for much-needed repairs to our facilities, renegotiating costly leases, installing solar panels for energy efficiency, and creating an in-house team for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning maintenance and repairs. For his diligence and his out-of-the-box thinking to discover effective and immediate cost-saving measures, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for commitment to Administrative Services Division Manager Thomas Brown. Exemplary Service Award, Karen. Assistant Medical Director, Dr. Saman Kashani. For more than a year, Dr. Saman Kashani managed to secure approximately $11.5 million in federal and local grants for the Advanced Provider Response Unit, APRU program, the proposed expansion of the paramedic assessment units, and the deployment of medical and mechanical CPR devices. Dr. Kashani has also personally provided direct care to patients who have frequently called 911 for help. Since working with them and connecting patients to the appropriate medical providers, several patients have dramatically reduced their utilization of 911, and the community's EMS resources are now more readily available instead of being tied up by the same patients. For devoting his time and effort to create a more robust and intuitive EMS system for the communities they serve, the department is pleased to present an Exemplary Service Award for caring to Assistant Medical Director Dr. Saman Kashani. Now for a unit citation. Engine 95, structure fire. Days before the start of the new year, on December 29th, 2022, an apartment unit became fully engulfed in flames on the 14,500 block of South Berendo in Gardena. Engine 95 arrived at the scene of the well-involved fire and found a resident who was hanging out of a second-story window. While some firefighters were working to put the fire out, others immediately raised a ladder to get to that patient. Crews managed a successful rescue of the patient, who was taken to a local hospital where they were treated for burns and smoke inhalation. Thankfully, the patient recovered and was reunited with their family. For working together as a team to extinguish a fire while valiantly rescuing a patient, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Fire Captain Eric Goodrich, Firefighter Specialist Matthew Lindner, and Firefighters Nicholas Kiyohara and Michael Nussbaum. Unit citation going to Battalion 9, Captain Rescue. At 1:42 a.m. on July 28th, 2022, a fire erupted inside a commercial building on the 4,000 block of South Street in Lakewood. The burning business was operating as a gymnastics facility, which had a 6-foot deep foam pit installed that allowed gymnasts to learn how to perform their aerial routines and land safely. The fire began inside that foam pit. The building sprinkler system had activated the sprinkler head to limit the fire's growth, but it also covered the room with dense smoke and filled that pit with plenty of water. Because of the reduced visibility, a fully suited fire captain unknowingly fell into that below-grade pit, which was now a pool filled with water and floating blocks of foam. Firefighters Dylan Grapp, Joshua Tagle, and Brian Tobin immediately located the captain and removed them from the building to safety, where they were treated for their injuries and later released. For quickly recognizing a dangerous situation and coming to the assistance of one of their own, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to firefighters Dylan Grapp, Joshua Tagle, and Brian Tobin. The next unit citation for a brush fire rescue goes to Engine 91 and Squad 118. On May 13th, 2022, Engine 91 was dispatched to the 3900 block of Turnbull Canyon Road in Hacienda Heights after a 911 caller hung up. Once Engine 91 and Squad 118 arrived, the fire crews discovered a vehicle about 150 feet down the side of a hill in a canyon with an active fire around it. There were 3 patients trapped at the accident site, the driver of the vehicle and 2 bystanders who went down the hillside to check on the crash victim. With additional resources on the way, personnel on the scene made their way down to the patients and brought them to safety, airlifting the injured driver via Copter 22 to a nearby trauma center for treatment. With the assistance of Copters 11 and 18, as well as LA City Fire Department's Fire 5, water drops were made to suppress the fire and eventually extinguish it. For seamlessly collaborating to rescue individuals trapped in a canyon while also fighting a brush fire and keeping it from spreading, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Fire Captain Mario Cabrales, Firefighter Specialist Robert Moreno and Todd Smith, and Firefighters Jeffrey Darning, Leonardo Ortiz, and David Roberts. For a landslide rescue, a unit citation goes to fire dispatchers. A rural county road became the site of multiple rescues on the evening of September 11th, 2022, when an unexpected thunderstorm along with a scarred hillside from the 2020 lake fire created a dynamic landslide and mud and debris flow. The LA Communications Center received more than 500 calls for help within a 3-hour time frame that night, many calling 911 after their cars were being dragged by mud and debris on Pine Canyon Road near Lake Hughes. Fire Dispatcher 2, Kevin Butler, spoke with a caller and asked them to send video so they could assess the situation. Meanwhile, Fire Dispatcher 2, Arturo Chira, stayed on the line to guide rescue units to the driver's exact location. At the same time, Fire Dispatcher 2, Brandith Forrester, was also guiding a parent and their 2 kids to safety by telling them to stand on their car. In total, more than 60 individuals were rescued that night from various sites across several miles of Pine Canyon Road. For exhibiting extraordinary professionalism, comfort, and care to callers during a high-risk emergency, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Fire Dispatcher 2's Kevin Butler, Art Chira, and Brandith Forrester. For their response to a trapped pedestrian, the unit citation goes to Engine 20 and Squad 20. A little after 5:30 p.m. on June 30th, 2022, Engine 20 and Squad 20 were dispatched to a call involving a pedestrian and a vehicle in a parking lot on the 12,000 block of East Firestone Boulevard in Norwalk. When the units arrived, firefighters Mario Camarena and Luis Rosas saw a patient under the vehicle. Only his head and arm were visible. Firefighter Specialist John Eric Perrine immediately instructed firefighters Joshua Ane and Joshua Sanchez to grab tools for stabilizing and lifting the car. The team was able to lift the car and remove the patient, who had multiple fractures, abrasions, and lacerations on the face and neck. Within seconds of being freed, the patient suffered cardiac arrest, and the crew quickly performed life-saving CPR. After 5 minutes of CPR and a round of epinephrine, the patient was breathing again and was transported to a nearby hospital for further treatment. For demonstrating exemplary skills and taking immediate action as a team to do whatever it took to save that person's life, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Firefighter Specialist John Eric Perrine and firefighters Joshua Ane, Mario Camarena, Luis Rosas, and Joshua Sanchez. Story we covered extensively, and none of us could really forget this when the sheriff's recruits were hit while out exercising. A unit citation for Fire Station 96. Just before 6:30 a.m. on November 16th of 2022, witnesses reported a car veering into 75 Sheriff's Department recruits who were in formation during their morning physical training on Mills Avenue in Whittier. The car had hit dozens of recruits not far from Fire Station 96. Within seconds, several recruits pounded on the fire station's front door to seek help. Personnel from Fire Station 96 immediately raced to the incident, where there were several severe traumatic injuries, including head trauma, broken bones, and loss of limbs. Additional resources were requested to assist in this complex incident with more than 25 patients. Since then, several of the injured recruits were treated and released, a few continuing with their long road to recovery. For providing urgent emergency care and life-saving measures during a multi-injury incident, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Battalion Chief Sean Smith, Fire Captain Marcos Espiritu, Firefighter Specialist Christopher Toomey, and firefighters David Bubian, Eric Ortiz, and Michael St. Andrew. A unit citation for Fire Station 166. On February 9th of 2022, Fire Captain Stephen McCann was on duty working at Fire Station 166 in the city of Monte. During the late evening, the station's crew was dispatched to respond to a call. When they returned, they noticed Captain McCann had been missing and decided to check on him. That was when they discovered that Captain McCann had passed away from a medical emergency while on duty. Captain McCann had faithfully served the county and its residents for 16 years. For providing thoughtful and meaningful care to one of their own, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to Fire Captain Ralph Pfeiffer, Firefighter Specialist Matthew Black, Robert Santoff, Firefighters Craig Alviso, Dean Hashimoto, Victor Leal, Raul Perez, Jordan Vigil, and Cameron Weeks, medium truck driver Brian Bothling, and care ambulance drivers Daniel Galindo and James Nemoto. Let's congratulate all the award recipients who have been recognized so far. Give them all a round of applause. We're going to take a moment right now to recognize a few special people who are here with us tonight. Chief Sarger and Chief Burrow.
Thank you, Mark. Please give Mark a round of applause. Give him a little breather, let him get a little dinner. In the meantime, I would like to recognize again, some of the organizations that helped bring this evening to light. Now, as an organization, we have a choice of going very commercial and blowing this thing out, or keeping it kind of intimate with the family that we have here, the fire family, and some of our key organizations. So at this time, I would like to call up some of the organizations and their representatives to come up and get recognized. Because this event, the dinner, I don't know if any of you remember, we used to do this in Pasadena, where you get a couple cookies, and then your blood sugar would spike, and by the end of the show, you were out in the streets of Pasadena wandering around looking for food. So with these organizations here that are helping us, and it kicks it up a notch. So I'm going to call up Tim Green, who's the president and CEO of FA Credit Union. FA Credit Union is our key sponsor today. Sitting in two different places. Raise your hands. Please come up. There, in the middle. Perfect. Also donating is 1014 at this table. 1014, big donors. Please come up. Chris Reed, director. From the Los Angeles County Fire Museum, Paul Euler, president. Please come up. And the board at the table, please raise your hands so everybody can see. And key donor as well is the Association of Chiefs, President Derek Chapman. Will you please come up? Acting Assistant Fire Chief. On behalf of the department and Chief Maroney, we would like to really, from the bottom of our heart, thank these organizations and the members in them for helping this evening go the way it's going, which I think is pretty great. If you look at the top of our screen there, you'll see an emblem. Keep walking away from the mic, I don't know why I do that. You'll see an emblem at the top. This is different than our normal standard emblem for Los Angeles County Fire Department. And what that is our centennial emblem. This is Los Angeles County Fire Department's 100th year. We started in 1923. And it kind of makes this Medal of Valor a little bit special, a little bit different. But one of the things to recognize that, we had the perfect tie-in. And Chief Gonzalez, will you come up and bring your uncle? Oh, perfect. There you are. Captain Guillermo, or Bill Gonzalez, is one of our special guests tonight. He has reached a milestone birthday. This year, he'll be 100 years old. Captain Gonzalez celebrates his own centennial on the 25th. Captain Gonzalez was also one of our first Latinx firefighters on the job. I think he was the third, to be exact. He paved the way for many other people of color to pursue a career in the fire service, and for that we thank him of his 32 years of faithful service to the county and a solid commitment to the community. I was privileged to meet Captain Gonzalez at a graduation for Rio Hondo, and I gotta tell you, it was a treat. At any time after this, if you get a chance to speak with him, please do. It is an amazing experience. Chief Ronan, did you present the coin?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Just so you know, that coin is a special silver minted challenge coin, and obviously presented by Chief Maroney. So please, a round of applause for Captain Gonzalez. 100 years. Thank you for your service. Captain Gonzalez. Thank you. Now, before I introduce this next person, I want to explain a little bit about this next award and what it means. This is the White Helmet Award. The inaugural White Helmet Award went to, of course, Mark Brown, a great friend of the family. And keeping with that tradition of ABC, the track record, I would like to call up Teresa Sanmaniego. Sanmaniego. I have it down. I'm trying to stop. My girlfriend is Mexican, speaks Spanish, and I can't do that. Teresa's coming up. Now, a little story before I read exactly what the White Helmet Award is I want to tell you why Teresa is so special to the County Fire Department. Teresa is the Vice President of Diversity and Community Engagement for ABC7, which is an outstanding position because it allows her to engage in the community similar to what we do as a fire department. And I've known Teresa on a personal level for about 5 years now, 3 of which we worked on the Spark of Love. Teresa has done so much for the community. She's with Feed SoCal and Circle of Health, but more specifically with the Los Angeles County Fire Department, she serves as a liaison between ABC7 Media and, of course, our department. Anytime I call on Teresa, she always picks up, and she is always available or makes herself available for any of our requests. She's always looking to put Los Angeles County Fire Department on the map and put us forward in a positive light. Which is also probably why Cheryl Fair's here, who's the, wave your hand, Cheryl. She's the president and general manager of ABC. With that knowledge, I don't want anybody pitching her any shows about what we do in the fire department. Anything that might air on Wednesday. ABC 7. Anyway, I digress. Teresa is an amazing person. She serves as that liaison. She also serves as a liaison with organizations throughout the LA area. We have a great relationship with the NFL and the Rams because of Teresa. But more important, Teresa has worked with us over the years with the Spark of Love. She's been involved with the Spark of Love for 31 years. And the Spark of Love is a campaign that happens around Christmas time. Through her assistance, she has given toys, 500,000, to the needy children of the Los Angeles community. 500,000 over the long period of years. And through each iteration of that, through the Christmas after Christmas, she makes sure that LA County is included in that, and that helps us fulfill at least 2 of our core values, commitment and community. So please, give an amazing round of applause to Teresa. I want to read the official marking of what the White Helmet Award is, and I'm going to be very quick, but I want you to see the impact. The White Helmet Award recognizes the outstanding achievement of an individual or organization that exemplifies excellent in journalistic integrity and accuracy in coverage. Traditionally, a white helmet represents the highest rank in the fire service obtained by chief officers. This year, we are proud to honor Teresa, Vice President of Diversity and Community Engagement at ABC7. Teresa has been instrumental in the success of our Spark and Love toy drive. With her support throughout the 30-year plus of the program, we have been able to gather, provide, and deliver the toys to all the children in the community. Please, another round of applause for Teresa.
This is very happy. On behalf of President Joe Manager Cheryl Fair, our entire ABC7 family, Mark Brown, Ruth House, and Maria, and Sean, who's back there, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have the honor and the privilege of working with 48 fire agencies throughout Southern California. And we collect 500,000 toys every year to donate to nonprofit organizations, but we don't do it alone. We do it with the amazing support of the Los Angeles County Fire Department and obviously the resources that my boss allows me to use to make this amazing campaign possible. And it is, I'm just so humbled to receive this because I do it on behalf of all of you and all the children in Southern California. And thank you, Cheryl, for allowing me to do this. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Let's keep the party going. Mark, you ready? I hope that was enough time to have dinner.
Yes.
Want a couple more minutes? I called you up here for a reason. I fooled you. It's not time to start. As you can tell, we can't sing the praises enough of Mark Brown and what he means to the Fire family. But we can give him as many thank yous as we can. And we can do it verbally, and we can also do it with letters. So we are showering him with praise. And once again, Mark, thank you for the service to us. We appreciate it.
As I was telling Cheryl Fair, our general manager, that one of the reasons I like to do this every year is not only to hear the stories and thank them, but to shake the hands of the people who get the job done and make the sacrifice and save lives and save money and do all the things that make this department the greatest fire department on earth. So thank you again. Now let's continue with the rest of the awards, beginning with the Certificate of Valor. Certificate of Valor, ANF Fire Captain Tom Guzman for the Root Fire. On September 11, 2021, the Root Fire was burning between Interstate 5 and Highway 99 north of Templin Highway. Crews from both the Angeles National Forest, ANF, and the County of Los Angeles Fire Department responded to help fight this fast-moving brush fire that had flames as tall as 50 feet. Shortly after they arrived, the fire had taken hold of both sides of the highway, nearly trapping one of our department's hand crews. With their lives being threatened, it was then that ANF Fire Captain Tom Guzman took the initiative and packed 13 firefighters into 2 fully loaded ANF vehicles to escape the fire. They quickly drove to safety and away from what could have been a deadly situation. For exhibiting decisiveness and absolute courage under fire, the department is pleased to present a Certificate of Valor to Fire Captain Tom Guzman. Valor for the trench rescue, firefighters Kyle Brown and Michael Fagundes. On September 14, 2022, a construction worker was reportedly stuck in a confined space that was rapidly filling with water from a broken pipe. When members of the Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 103 showed up to the 10,000 block of West Frontage Road in Southgate, the patient was now underwater with only a hand showing. Firefighters Kyle Brown and Michael Fagundes immediately began to prepare for the trench rescue, requiring both firefighters to enter a 10-foot deep trench to rescue the patient who was encased in mud above the waist. With help from members of the Long Beach Fire Department's Rescue 6 team, personnel attempted to free the patient by removing as much dirt and mud as they could, even as the trench was collapsing and the water continuing to flood the space. Firefighters Brown and Fagundes worked for over 8 hours to free the patient from the trench. That patient unfortunately did not survive. For demonstrating courage and unrelenting determination in an effort to save a person's life, the department is pleased to present a Certificate of Valor to firefighters Kyle Brown and Michael Fagundes. This is one that I actually covered. I remember this one very well. Certificate of Valor, firefighter Troy Litchfield. On December 7th of 2022, a beloved pet got stuck in an old septic tank under the family's home in the 13,700 block of South Stanford Avenue in Compton. Firefighter Troy Litchfield arrived at the scene with members of Engine 95. After assessing the situation, firefighter Litchfield prepared to enter a 30-inch diameter opening where he would crawl down a ladder and into a space that was about 13 feet deep below the ground to rescue the animal. Crawling backwards on his stomach down a ladder, firefighter Litchfield was able to retrieve the 50-pound dog using a makeshift harness around the pet to get him up to the surface. For displaying perseverance and diligence in safely and successfully rescuing a family's beloved dog, the department is pleased to present a certificate of valor to firefighter Troy Litchfield. The Certificate of Valor for firefighter Christopher Downs. Firefighter Christopher Downs was preparing for a division inspection when a call went out about a jumper along the 405 freeway in Manchester. Crews from Fire Station 171 had previous encounters with this individual. Firefighter Downs had always responded with patience and compassion. This time, on this day, March 21st, 2022, the patient specifically requested firefighter Downs to be there at the overpass while negotiators attempted to talk to him. The patient was holding up a sign with firefighter Downs' name and phone number, advising negotiators that they did not trust anyone else to talk to. Firefighter Downs headed to the scene and put himself at great risk by sliding out onto the ledge and personally talking to the patient, who eventually moved back to safety. For exemplifying the very best of our organization by demonstrating heroism and providing meaningful care and overwhelming kindness to a person in need, the department is pleased to present a certificate of valor to firefighter Christopher Downs. A certificate of valor awarded to Engine 117 and DHS. On May 12, 2022, Engine 117 was dispatched to a call on the 9,000 block of East Avenue F8 in Lancaster, where they found a patient's arm stuck in farm equipment. Crews needed to remove the patient's arm from the equipment, and that meant surgical extraction at the site with the help of the hospital emergency response team from the Los Angeles General Medical Center that arrived via Copter 22. For close to 2 hours, firefighters rendered care to the conscious patient, comforting that patient, closely monitoring their vitals as members of the HURT team performed a surgical amputation in the field of the patient's arm. Urban search and rescue personnel were also attempting to disassemble the equipment and the motor at the same time. Once freed and after administering CPR, the patient was flown to a nearby trauma center where surgeons continued to operate on the arm. The patient released a few days later. For displaying exceptional skill, overwhelming care, and outstanding teamwork in saving a person's life, the department is pleased to present a certificate of valor to Fire Captain Rodney Hayball, Firefighter Specialist Brett Eastman, Ryan Grigsby, and David Pinero, Firefighter Jason Tabak, Medical Director Dr. Clayton Kazan, Dr. Dimitrios Dimitriadis, Dr. Jenny Kim, Dr. Catherine Ross, Joanne Satina, RN, and Bobby Bell, Jr. now for the Medal of Valor. Firefighters Jonathan Martin and Matthew Smith, and the Certificate of Valor for Battalion 11 and the LA Sheriff's Department. Now to the first of three presentations with Medal of Valor recipients. We begin with a harrowing rescue which took place in Lancaster.
When I was dressing up, I heard Captain Juarez from 117's said they had smoke and fire showing.
And we could see it from a couple miles out, at least the smoke.
And responding to structure fire 3255 East Avenue, H8, engine 117 on scene for a single-story, single-family dwelling, smoke and fire showing from the Charlie side.
When we got into the front door, the fire conditions were very heavy. There was a lot of fire, there was a lot of smoke, it was down to the ground.
High velocity smoke come from the front, and it was pretty much to the floor. So I heard Captain Juarez, who was off of engine 117, saying he was taking heavy fire.
As soon as we stretched our line out, somebody came up next to me and said, "Hey, my grandfather's inside. We need to get him out."
We did hear that there was a rescue situation, so we kind of regrouped.
A deputy met me right outside and said they had somebody in a bedroom.
Hey, my grandfather is right through this window, which was pretty much right next to the front door.
And then you can kind of, when I peeked my head in, I'm like, oh, there's actually someone in here, I can see him.
Well, my first thought was, let me get my guy, let's go into the window and get this guy out. But we didn't have enough people.
I came to the bedroom that was over here, and I think there's a couple more deputies trying to break the window. They said, he's in this bedroom, he's in this bedroom.
And I could see through the smoke there was a glow at the door, and that's what was most concerning. So my second thought was, let's go into the front door, let's hold the fire at bay so that the next in company can come in and effect the rescue.
With 117s and the amount of fire that I saw going up, I thought that was a very good decision to go to fire tech. We didn't have a squad on scene yet, or a fourth engine yet, or the battalion chief.
To instruct my probationary firefighter at the time to come to the door and wait for me there.
He comes behind me, lets me know, hey, we're going in together. And then, I mean, you have black smoke pretty much to the floor. That's how well involved this fire is.
And then I saw that 117's crew was trying to push into the doorway, but it was heavy black smoke and fire. It was very hot.
We made a decision that we were going to go through the window. It's going to be the easiest option for us to get to the victim.
I looked at the front door to see if I could go through the front door, and I saw fire kind of lipping out the front door.
The window was already broken out by sheriffs, which kind of started the process of combustion of the room.
If I were to run back and get a line to take it into the room with me, I think it would have been too late. So hopping in the window was probably the best action to save the guy's life.
So once Johnny and I had that conversation, hey, we're going in.
And there were deputies at the window. I noticed that Martin and Smith were masking up.
I got all my gear on, was heading up toward the house. I saw the two firefighters go in the bedroom door, by the bedroom window. And from there, then I made my way to the actual window where they were facilitating the rescue.
I need to start putting water down that hallway as soon as possible, or to cool down. So, because I know we had that victim down that hallway into that room. And so I entered in through this door, still making sure that I'm cooling off the room as I'm making my way down.
When I took my firemen inside, we stopped the fire from going down the hall.
It's a T-shaped hallway when you walk in the room, down the bedroom. I'm like, all right, they're going to flow water. Hopefully this is going to make a difference.
And I knew that was the priority because that's where that victim could potentially be.
When I jumped in the door, I kind of did a right-hand search and hit something. And his bed was in the center of the room. Pretty quick search, I found him.
However, it was pack rat conditions inside the room. So I couldn't get to the door. Immediately went back to Johnny, let him know, hey, Door's not gonna be closed, we got a limited amount of time in here.
The main preface of going inside is to hold that fire so these guys can get the victim out.
I was trying to cool off this area, but I knew that the main area of focus that I needed to get to was to the left.
You could see it start kind of licking in, and we didn't realize this, and I had a helmet cam on, and I didn't realize how quickly the room was about to flash. And then from talking to the captain who was outside, he's like, "You guys didn't see the fire above you?" And we're like, "Oh no, not at all." We were more focused on the victim at that point.
Once my captain told me to make a push, try to get myself set up right in front of this hallway and cool down as much as possible.
And as soon as we knocked this part down, we were holding it right here, and then we backed up a little bit because it was coming over our heads, and we tried to keep it from going down the hallway. So he shot it down the hallway just to create some steam to cool it down, and then he brought it back in the river.
During that whole time, still fire attack was being done, and affecting to make sure that we weren't going to get flashed over in the room we were in. We obviously didn't have a hose line with us.
Got to the victim with Johnny, had a probably 10-second conversation about how we're gonna get this guy out. He was conscious, we made sure he was conscious and breathing on his own.
We found him, and then we dragged him and kind of just used our instinct to get him out.
There was no way we could take him out of the bedroom door because of fire conditions inside the house. Through the window was the best way to get him out.
I popped my head up and I communicated to the two guys that were outside the window what we were gonna do. And I used a tool to clear the rest of the windowsill to get all the glass out of there. Sheriffs were very overzealous, very helpful. So we started to lift the gentleman up and started to push him out the window and kind of finagle him out the window. And he was grabbed by the sheriffs as well as the waiting firemen on the outside and then brought out to the squad.
Once we were able to get him out of the window, we were able to take him out to the street where we met the squad, and they were able to give, render first aid care to the gentleman where he was still alive, which made it remarkable. So that we were able to rescue him out of the house in the conditions that they were in. It was a remarkable situation. It was good to say that we were able to do what we were trained to do.
I think the most significant part of this whole thing is that everybody worked together, everybody knew their job, and it was taken care of.
For taking decisive action as a team to provide life-saving care, the department is pleased to present a certificate of valor to Fire Captains Don McLaughlin and Scott Michael, and Sheriff's Deputies Dulce Flores de Leon, Christopher Gonzalez, Danny Ornelas, and Marco Delgado Ruiz, and a Medal of Valor to firefighters Jonathan Barton and Matthew Smith. Medal of Valor to firefighters Burnett Burton, Aaron Matthews, and Jackson Reich. Certificate of Valor, Fire Captain Chris Dubois, and Firefighter Specialist David Madvig, and Trevor Winton. We now present Medal of Valor recognitions to a group of individuals who heroically leapt into action.
Holy shit! Oh my God! What happened? Holy shit! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
So it was a pretty typical canyon response for us. It was a TC trapped up the canyon. We didn't have much info besides that.
Once we pulled up on scene, There were no victims trapped.
Found one vehicle on the side of the mountain and two patients.
While we were en route, Air Flight added themselves to our ticket.
As they were coming in, apparently they browned out and had a main rotor strike on the oak tree, which caused a crash.
I was going to take my patrol and drive up Canyon to pick Air 5 up where we're standing right now. And as I was getting ready to leave that initial accident scene,
Just heard a strange sound, which didn't sound right, and then I heard on the TAC radio from the forest right away. And we knew something bad happened.
You could hear booms all day up in this canyon, and it travels, so you wouldn't know what it was anyway until somebody goes, hey, you know, there's a helicopter that crashed up there. They're like, what? I don't know about that.
Downwash from the rotor system causes what we call a brownout, and all the dirt and dust come up and basically envelop the entire visual space of the copter. The main rotor system clipped the top of the oak tree. The helicopter came down and rolled onto its side.
So I jumped on the running board of the patrol, and he said, I need a medic. We weren't really sure why. And so my partner, because I was tied into patient care, left me some of the equipment and then hopped in the patrol. The debris field was huge. It was probably 200 feet in all directions. Rotor was stuck up on the cliff.
There were several people outside of the helicopter standing around dazed.
After we kind of realized what we had, I went back. The engine had just pulled up. David pulled up in the engine, so I jumped in the captain's seat and just took a breath, put on the headset, and gave the report to LA.
Air 25 has crashed upon landing. We have 3 medics trapped in the aircraft. No fire. Go ahead and start appropriate response.
The tail boom section was off to this end. The initial thought was it could slide off, and it's 200 plus feet down the bottom of that canyon. The engines were on the ground in this area, just below the main rotor head, and there was dry grass on the ground at the time, so the heat of the engine plus I'm assuming the fuel and oils had a smoldering fire on the ground, and that was also contributing to the smoke inside the cabin cockpit area of the helicopter. And I know we don't have Class B foam, but I was like, something's better than nothing. So I pulled the reel line, and I ended up just staging it on the ground next to the copter.
Were they close to going over? Because if we're working on a helicopter, would it roll over?
The main rotor system had wedged itself somewhere in this area, and that was the only thing keeping it up from going all the way to the bottom.
I knew the fuel would still be on, so I went to the fuel shutoffs and I went to the battery bus. So everything isn't straight up, it's upside down.
Seconds were going by, I was trying to process how am I going to make access to these guys inside.
The right front pilot, his seatbelt sheared off, and he hit the other pilot in the side of his face, knocking him out. So when we first arrived on scene, they were both unconscious.
At that time, I hadn't realized that Jackson had made access from the front of the copter on the other side of the oak tree and come up and gone inside the rear part of the cockpit. He popped his head up when I got by the main rotor system, and he said, I can't breathe because it had also been charged with like smoke. So I'm thinking in my mind, let me get 2 BAs, one for the patient and one for Jackson, so we can work on that.
Aaron was working on the cockpit door, trying to make entry into that.
They were both unconscious at the time. Just started cutting their seatbelts. We had to secure their weapons. And once we got their weapons secured and detangled them from the seatbelts, we started to make a move. Jackson was on air behind me because the smoke was still in the back half of that cockpit area. I was able to lift the guy by his vest, pick him up, and basically pass him off to Buddy, and there was several other individuals out there at that time.
These were dead weight guys that were having trouble getting out, and having a guy like Aaron that is just all bulk, being able to lift someone out of a copter is huge. It wasn't something we were responding to. It was something that happened on the incentives in IWI. It was just like having one of our copters crash, because we do have a relationship with him, and we do work with him on a day-to-day basis.
The guy was hilarious. I've been on a lot of calls up here with him. I didn't know who he was until we actually got him out. And once I found out who he was, it hit me kind of hard because I work with him so much.
It's not every day you come across a day or fight with guys you work with every day, you know, smashed up on the side of the mountain.
Chris, Captain Dubois, did a fantastic job on the radio. We didn't need any guidance. He's just like, hey, here's what the job is, go for it.
There were no orders given. Everybody had a job, they knew what their job was, and everybody just went to work and made it happen. So I didn't really have a job per se.
It was a fantastic crew that day, and I'm glad we had them there.
And we kind of show up every day just ready to go to work and use the skills that we were given, the talents that we were given, and on that day each talent was in the right place.
We are grateful to have these brave honorees here with us tonight for displaying extraordinary courage, skill, and teamwork in the face of danger, risking their own safety to save lives. The department is pleased to present a Certificate of Valor to Fire Captain Chris Dubois, Firefighter Specialist David Madvig and Trevor Winton, and a Medal of Valor to Firefighters Burnett Burton, Aaron Matthews, and Jackson Reich.
So I can see him again. Hey guys, big smile. Hold it up like the other one. Symmetrical. Hold for other cameras.
Thank you.
Now receiving the Medal of Valor, Fire Captains Andrew Olvera and Robert Weaver, and Firefighter Robert Courier. The Certificate of Valor for Firefighter Frank Gagne. A Unit Citation for Firefighters Robert Jimenez, Aaron Regan, and Eduardo Starry. This last set of Medal of Valor awards is being given to firefighters who stepped in to make sure that no one was left behind.
When Captain Andrew Olvera, Captain Robert Weaver, and firefighter Robert Courier heard that their fellow firefighter John Flagler was in danger, they did not hesitate. They did not waver. Instead, they bravely moved forward beyond the stretched hose line to try to save his life. Their unwavering commitment to their colleague and their selfless actions in the face of danger demonstrate the true courage and heroism that defines our firefighting community. Despite the tragic outcome, their bravery and sacrifice will never be forgotten, and their names will forever be honored as heroes.
Are here with us tonight, along with firefighter Jonathan Flagler's wife and family, for exhibiting bravery, care, and heroism in attempting to save the life of one of their own, the department is pleased to present a unit citation to firefighters Robert Jimenez, Jr., Aaron Regan, and Eduardo Sterling, as well as a certificate of valor to firefighter Frank Gagne, and a Medal of Valor to fire captains Andrew Olvera and Robert Weaver, and firefighter Robert Currier. Thank you to all of our recipients. Congratulations to them as well, and thank you for being with us here tonight as we recognize all of those who went above and beyond for the department and for the people you serve. We will see you all again next year. Have a safe journey home. Good night.
One last quick word, little logistics. Everybody who received their award, please go to the pickup table to pick up your certificate at the very end. Thank you, have a good night, be safe. See you next year. You're more than welcome to enjoy the museum, enjoy the cookies. We're not closing down. Enjoy the social.